Hey, this is Jeremy for 10xyourgigs.com. And in this podcast, I'm going to tell you how to multiply your gigs in just 10 hours a week. So if you're short on time, you have another job, you got a family, you've got an intense road schedule, maybe you got a crazy ass baby mama. We all have this kind of stuff. And, there has to be at least 10 hours or more that you are probably wasting each week. I know I'm guilty of it. I get wrapped up in drinking Blue Moon and binge-watching Californication. It happens. So just remember back to last week and think of everything that was a waste of time, that did not contribute to building your career. What could you have been doing instead with those hours? If you have trouble focusing, just do what I do. Just write down the 3 most valuable things you can do to raise your game and get to the next level. No more than 3, just 3. And then from there, write down what actions you can take each and every day. Write them down. The 3 most valuable things you can do to raise your game and get to the next level. No more than 3. Write them down. And then what action steps you can take each and every day to accomplish those 3 things. Write those down. And then just do it every day. I break my days and weeks down like this. I spend about 30% of my time coming up with material and focusing on the creative stuff. I spend about 30% delivering on commitments, promises I've made to clients and whatnot. And then I spend about 30% of my time on the outreach, the marketing, the promotion to build my audience. And then I just try to limit waste of time activities or bullshit that comes up, urgent situations that are either low value or waste of time stuff. I try to limit that stuff to about 10% of my time dealing with that stuff. So now a couple of tricks. First, blocking out the time is crucial. Actually scheduling it, setting aside 2 hours at a time where you will not be interrupted, I found is key. Interruptions are deadly. Just work completely focused on the task at hand. No distractions. Turn off the phone, turn off your email. You cannot be interrupted or distracted. And then you'll be amazed at how much you can accomplish when you have that kind of laser focus on just a single task. So, make that one of your daily actions. Maybe you do 2 a day. So for 50 minutes straight with no interruptions or distractions, turn off your phone, your email, go wherever you need to focus so you can work on building your career in show business. Focus on writing material for 50 minutes straight. Then take a 20-minute break. Then do another 50 minutes. It adds up to about 2 hours, and you'll be amazed at what you can get done. Spend 50 minutes straight just focused on doing an activity that will bring in new opportunities. Actions that you can take that will increase interest in your talent or your show, build your audience, and get you more gigs. Then take a 20-minute break and then pick it back up for another 50 minutes. Again, you're 2 hours straight doing a single focused activity. Even if you only have 2 hours a day, 5 days a week, dedicate it to working on the business. Set a timer and just go. 2 hours a day translates to 10 hours a week. 3 hours writing material, 3 hours delivering commitments, and 3 hours on the outreach to build your audience. Then you got about 1 hour left over to handle the then you got about 1 hour left over to handle the trivial shit, the nonsense, or dealing with, urgent distractions, low value, or even waste of time activities. These things are going to come up. You're going to need to set some time aside to deal with them. But really, if you're going to focus on the low value and waste of time activities and not really have a productive way to use your time otherwise, it's going to be deadly. Waste of time activities, deadly to building your career. Things like getting wrapped up in gossip or negative drama, channel surfing, surfing the net, binge watching YouTube or Netflix, video games, jacking off the porn, all that shit. Start cutting it back to free up an extra 2 hours a day to invest in your career. Schedule it. Stick to it. You have to be regimented about it. Improve in each area by that fraction of percent each day. It adds up over a lifetime. You want to do the stuff that gets you the gigs. These are the high dollar value activities. This is the stuff that you do that brings in the cash the quickest. I usually like to do this stuff in the afternoon. I call it my afternoon office hustle. This is the time I block out each day to take care of commitments, work on promotional stuff, return calls, and in general, do what's needed to bring in the gigs. This is the time when I focus on the high dollar value activities. It's my afternoon office hustle. My mornings are typically spent on the long-term activities. I call it my morning success ritual. And this is when I work out, this is when I write, I create content, I edit video, and usually read or listen to some sort of educational piece, a podcast or YouTube video or Audible. These are the activities that create long-term value for me. A secret is learning how to create value for others during this time, and do it every day, and over time, you'll experience a windfall of success. So as you get busier, you're going to book more gigs, you're going to increase your positioning with regular content delivery and value creation, and you're going to get approached with many opportunities. So be sure to screen out that don't fit into your life's purpose. The more you say no, the more success you will experience. It's counterintuitive, I know. It sounds kind of weird, but you got to say no more often in order to get more successful. Because of travel, you got stress. Just the stress alone of trying to keep up with everything. If you say yes to everything, you're going to go out of your mind. You got to travel all the time to do shows on the road, not fitting. You don't want to do something where it doesn't fit with your ideal audience, and that's just a waste of time, even if you do pick up a few bucks. Focusing on anything then your plan and daily success rituals and hustling for gigs will only create hassles, and it's going to waste your time. How much you engage in waste of time activities this year will determine how much further you go in your career. Most performers will be in the same place next year as they are now because they continue to do the same things, resulting in the same things, continuing to waste more time. Most performers will never take the time and have the discipline to stick to focusing on long-term goals and delivering value every day. So this is where it's actually easy. Those of you who listen to this is where it's easy to get an advantage. Just like any area of life, if you work a little bit harder than the next guy, your chances of success increase exponentially. Considering show business is an industry filled with lazy asses, it's not that hard to be one of the top 5% of all entertainers that actually make a living with their talent simply by carving out the time to do it and staying focused. It's a challenge, especially trying to juggle family life with business life and traveling. It can be real tricky to make sure you're getting everything done that you need to. And another tip, which I think I'll do this in more detail next week. But another tip is to maximize your time on the road when you're traveling. Make sure you use your time wisely when you're on the road doing gigs. It's easy to get sucked into that lazy hotel lifestyle and lose some momentum. But I'll go into more about that next week. In any case, hope this was helpful to you. It takes 10 hours a week to multiply your gigs, break it down to 30% on content creation, 30% on fulfilling of commitments, and 30% on outreach to get new clients, new gigs. If you have any questions or comments, just leave them below. If you're listening to this on iTunes, leave it as a review. If you're listening to this on YouTube, leave it as a comment below. Or if you're at the 10X blog, 10X Your Gigs blog, just leave a question in the comments below that as well. I'd love to hear from you, and keep listening. Thank you very much, and we'll talk soon.